Hello everyone, thanks for dropping by. That, as you can see, is a Cadillac. That's the new CT5, and that car compared with a super hyper car is more me. It's only 40 grand, but if I had a decent income and I moved to America as a new American, that'd be one of the cars I'd have a look at, as it'd be smooth, quiet and comfortable. And as you know, if you want to get from A to B in America, you have quite a lot of driving, and I wouldn't want to do that in a super hyper car, as that isn't a kind of car for long distance traveling, but the car on the screen is. Anyway, enough about that. As you know, there's a lot of single women in America, and they're all complaining on TikTok that they can't get dates. So I've been looking around to see what I can find, and I found a few interesting things. One of them is this. As you can see, it's Forbes magazine, and as you can see, 57% of single adults in America is not looking to date, a survey says. This was done by a guy called Bruce Y. Lee, an Asian American. He's a writer and journalist, and no doubt he's well aware of the red pill and the MGTOW philosophy. But he puts down, if you're single and feeling lonely before Valentine's Day, this may make you go, oh Pew. Results from a Pew Research survey of 6,034 adults in America, conducted on July 15th to the 17th in 2022, show that you are definitely not alone. The survey found that 30% of American adults surveyed to be single, which was defined as not being married, not living with a partner, or not being in a committed romantic relationship. In other words, you could say that is the MGTOW effect, and that is the MGTOW philosophy being implemented in real life. And the percentage was higher, 47% among adults under 30 years of age, lower 21% among adults 30 to 49 years old, and 30% of those 50 years and older. Now this bit was interesting. Out of single men, but if you're a male single and under 50 years of age, you may be in for a greater company compared to women, at least in terms of numbers. Among those 18 to 29 years of age, 63% of men versus 34% of women consider themselves single. So there's a 30% difference in guys and women who are single, aged 18 to 29. This dropped to 25% of men and 17% of women 30 to 49, and flipped the 50-year-old mark. 28% of men from 50 to 64 years old, and 25% of men 65 years old and older being single, compared to 30 and 39% of women for these age categories respectively. Now if you add 17, 30 and 39, you get 86. So a moot point is 86% of American women aged 30 to 64 could be considered single. But that really doesn't make sense. That only means about less than 20% of American women aged 30 to 64 are married. So take that any way you want. Anyway, it goes down, and then we give some examples. Roughly 6 in 10 young men report being single. In this case, young age meant age-wise younger than 30 years of age. 30 years of age, they've been grown up with social media and is seeing what women are like on social media, so you can understand that. The majority of single adults are not interested in being struck or even grazed by Cupid's arrow. That could be the effect of guys in America via social media seeing what women are really like, which they didn't realize before, and then they decided, if that's what women are like, I'm not really going to go down that road and maybe lose half my stuff. and the percentage of single Americans who are looking for a relationship or casual dates is lower than in 2019, especially among men. That could be the Chad. The number has dropped from 49 in 2019 to 42% in 2022. 61 to 50% among single men and 38 to 35% among single women. And the type of relationship single Americans are looking for. While 90% of men are looking for casual dates only, that could be Chad or his brother Tyrone. Fewer single women, 15%. That's the 304s, said the same. A greater percentage of single women, 41% versus 25%, are looking for a committed romantic relationship. Well, you could say that 41% are the ones complaining on TikTok that guys are ghosting them and they don't really want to go on a second, third and fourth date in some cases. And it says nearly half of single and looking adults have turned to online dating. It doesn't say whether it's guys or women. Nearly half meant 45%. This broke down as 53% of singles 18 to 49 years old and 25% of singles 50 years and older. Now, what's a single 50-year-old guy or woman doing on a dating site? Especially a woman. A woman at 50 should be happily married with her children and grandchildren, not going on dating sites looking to go with a date and seeing if she can get into a relationship. And then it goes yada 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 about it, and then more. The Pew Research Center did a good response with 6,034 adults, which said at the top, of 7,374 people filled out the survey, and then more yada yada. Now, going back to American women, I found this also in Fortune magazine. This was done on March 18th last year. As you can see, more American women are single than ever before, and it's costing them big money. Also, this woman naturally is a model, but single guys don't need a big house, and all the stuff in that kitchen has to be made. But if a single guy doesn't want to get married, then all the companies that are making that kind of stuff, they won't be getting any sales because there will be a fewer demand for big houses. Because a woman doesn't want to live in a small apartment, she wants to live in a house like that to show off to other women and make them feel jealous. Anyway, it says nearly 118 million Americans, or about 46% of those over 18 years old, are single according to the US Census Bureau, i.e. it's got official recognition. But that percentage is actually much higher for women. A record-breaking 52% of them are unmarried or separated as of 2021. Now, someone's got the facts wrong, because the Wells Fargo report says that it's going to be 2030, not 2021. But you can, as it's actually put down by the US Census Bureau, you can bet that they are understanding the coming storm in America, with 52% of women being unmarried or separated, and you could say childless as well. It says, the growing number of Americans who have never married, either because they decided to get married later in life or forgo getting hitched altogether, you could say that bit is the MGTOW philosophy, have driven the rise of single women in the US. The share of never married women increased 20% over the past decade, according to Wells Fargo analysis of US Department of Commerce data. And then, the growing number of single adults helps to normalize Americans' decision to remain uncoupled and broaden social trends. In fact, 63% of Americans believe that the stigma of being single is gradually diminishing, or a lot of American guys have seen the way how women really are via women going on social media and complaining, and they see what they look like once the mask has slipped. According to a recent survey by the Harris Poll, single women still tend to face more challenges when building wealth. Well, one of the reasons why you get all these rich women in America is they divorce a husband and took a chunk of his assets and money. So if an ordinary woman takes half your stuff, then she builds wealth that way. But if no guys are getting married and no guys are dating, then she can't build wealth. And then it goes down. Singledom is not created equal, especially when it comes to gender parity. Women face not only a gender gap in America, earning 83 cents per dollar to men, they also run up against a wealth gap too, which would be that the median household income for married couples was $106,921 as of 2021, according to census data. Single women earn an average income of $51,168, while single men make $70,525 per year. Now, I've seen on various other videos the average income for guys in America is around 55 to 58,000 US dollars, which works out about 25,000, 26 or 27,000 pound a year, which is the same over here. Now, I don't know where they got that 70,000 US dollars from. That could be guys which is above average income in above average job. And then it goes, turn about the wealth gap, blah blah blah. Now this bit is a bit interesting. The US Louisiana Federal Research finds that single women who never married have a lower net worth of about 71 cents per $1 compared to average wealth of never married men's wealth, or a wealth penalty of 29%. The picture gets even more bleak for single women with children, i.e. unmarried mothers. Where's the biological father? She's the one who decided to sleep with him. She's the one who decided to have sex with him. Was he married to her? Probably not. Tyrone, he's cleared off. She's left holding the baby, as they say. And then he goes more yada yada. Now, I've also found this. Fast forward to December 15th, 2023. About, when was that done? March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November. 9 months later, a record high number of US 40-year-olds have never been married. It says a quarter of 40-year-olds in America have never been married, according to an analyst of US Census Bureau by the Pew Research Center, the same one that this guy got his data from. This makes the highest figure since the first data started being published back in 1900, your grandparents and great-grandparents era, and a major leap from 6% low in 1980. And it says, but interestingly, just a case of more people cohabitating. Over here in Britain, it's called living over the brush. Analysts found that many of the adults surveyed in 2021 were living alone, or just 22% of those who had never married between the ages of 40 and 44 reporting that they were living with a partner, i.e. cohabitation, i.e. they haven't been burnt in the female-friendly family courts yet. If they're living in cohabitation, or if they got children, and she clears off, he has to pay child support and alimony, even though they weren't officially married, because it's called a common law wife. And it says, whoops, that's later. Looking at the breakdown of 2022 by different demographic groups, men are more likely to be unmarried by 40 than women. Well, men have the hobbies and they prefer peace and quiet, and women have TikTok and they prefer drama at 28 and 22% respectively. That's a 4% difference. A slightly higher share of African American adults, this bit, 46% reported not having married by the ages versus 27% of Hispanic men and 20% of white Americans, or 70% of Asian Americans. Well, Hispanic and Asian Americans tend to be family orientated. 40-year-olds don't finish at least a 4-year college degree are more likely to have never married than those who completed at least a bachelor's degree. But a lot of Americans now, younger Americans, are looking at trade schools to get a profession / trade / ability to make an income, and some of the trade, once they're qualified, you can earn as much as what you do in an office, plus as you've got a trade you can take it anywhere in America and do any kind of job according with that trade. Like a electrician in Florida can move to Washington State and work as an electrician because he's a tradesman. He doesn't have to work in an office. And then it goes, the general increase of people who are still single 40 suggests there has been a shift in sentiments on the importance of marriage. Or you could say, once again, American men via social media have seen what women are really like, and they don't like the look of it, so they decide, I'm not going to go down that road as I might get financially burnt and I don't want to lose half my stuff. And it says the trend is likely due to a wide variety and combination of factors. That could be Sandman's videos, Better Bachelor, Company of Kings, the 33 Secrets, what's the other one? Oh, damn. You know the ones I mean. And whether that's losing the stigma of being single, such as Belinda Luscombe of Time magazine explains, due to economic reasons, that could be the female-friendly family court, such as the fact that women have gained economic power. They need to rely less on men to provide. Or conversely, because men say they feel they need a level of financial stability to be ready to marry for marriage. Or they found out that marriage isn't what it's cracked up to be, as a lot of women want a marriage but they don't want to be a wife. Now if you drop down, you got the record high number of 40-year-olds. Doesn't say whether it's men or women. The 1980, we get third wave feminism kicked off 1990. MGTOW, as you know, kicked off in 2000. Now, there's 20 years there. A girl born May 1956, 56. The rate is dropping. Traditional wives. The teenage years, 20 years, young adults. Third wave feminism kicks in. They're in the prime, but I don't need no men. So they decide to not get married, and you see the exponential rise. Guys seeing this happening there, the girls that they grew up with, they go feminist, they protest marching, etc., and they see that they don't need no men, or if they do need a man, he's in the top 1 or 10% of the society, and he says he's got no chance of getting with a woman anymore. He hears of MGTOW, and once again you get exponential rise. As 2030 comes along, it's going to go up to there, probably 40, 45, maybe 52%, which is up here. As you can see, it's the US Census Bureau, so you can see this graph as an official capacity. Now, if you're an American and you're single, best and worst states for it in America. This was done by a site called Wallet Hub on 29th of January this year. And it says, besides your looks, personality, interests and employment status, your location can influence your odds to finding a romantic partner. In states with low cost of living, your income might stretch a bit more, which means cheaper and more frequent dates. In other words, you've got to do a lot more dating to get somebody, which in the long run will cost you a bit more. there's an attractive option during this period of high inflation. If you're more financially stable, though, you might appreciate a state with more attractions to find a new experience for both you and your potential other half. In other words, if you live in a state with a high income, you got a stable job, high earning men, you got more experiences and you got more choice of women. And then these states combine all the qualities anymore. Which states? Sorry. Now they went through all 50 states. So if you drop down, you'll find a map of America. Number 1 is Florida. For number 2, surprisingly enough, is Texas. And number 3, no surprises there, is California. All these other states are ranking down. There's Vermont. I bought some ski socks from there last week. The really tough socks. I'm going to try them out tomorrow. Sorry about that, people. Now, if you drop down, you got the list. As you see, first is Florida, but dating opportunities is only 3. Dating opportunities 1 is New York City, but that's number 4. And right at the bottom is North Dakota. The one above that is South Dakota, and then surprisingly enough is West Virginia, which is, where's West Virginia? Alabama. Oh, that's where Tennessee is. And that's Kentucky. Huh. Next door to Tennessee. Ah, there's West Virginia. That is right at the bottom of single dating. Now, if you drop down further, share of single adults, highest is in New Mexico and lowest in Kansas, Nebraska, Wyoming, Idaho and Utah. That's where all the Mormons live. And gender balance of singles, even Stevens. Maine, that's another state I would like to live in. If I was into boating, I'd live in Florida, but not on this side. They're all retirees, just on this, because you got the Miami River and the Florida Keys, and there you got the Bahamas. Whoops, sorry about that. Online dating opportunities, Washington, that could be the capital, and the fewest Louisiana, West Virginia, Arkansas, New Mexico and Mississippi. And mobile dating opportunities, the Utah, that's surprisingly, Colorado, all the rest, fewest Montana, Vermont, Iowa, South Dakota, again West Virginia. And then we got the housing, the cost of living, the amount of money coming in. The Virginia has the highest annual income, which is surprising. And then Utah again, but that contradicts. That coincides with that. Minnesota, New Jersey, Colorado, and then restaurants per capita for dating, California, no surprises there, Florida, no surprises there, New York City, no surprises there, and fewest Vermont, Wyoming, South Dakota, North Dakota, and Alaska. There's sparsely populated in those areas, I believe. Then we got to take her on a date, movie theaters, California, Hollywood and all that, Texas, New York, major city, and fewest Alaska, Mississippi, Hawaii, and fewest movie theaters in a place called Delaware, the state of Delaware. That's surprising. And then of course we got the crime rate, New Hampshire, Maine, Idaho, the New England area, lowest crime, and highest crime in the southern states, with New Mexico being a very high crime area. Anyway, those are the worst and states are singles. Now you got cities are in American states. I found this. This is Birmingham now. As you can, that's the Birmingham website. Birmingham has the highest ratio of single women, a new study finds. Now this was done on the 14th of September this year. As you drop down, Birmingham has the highest rate of single women in the country. If you drop down, where is it? The study tracked unmarried men aged 15 to 44 per unmarried women aged 15 to 44, a prime age group, teenagers to people approaching middle age. They found Birmingham has the highest rate of single women, with only 82 single men per 100 single women. And then we got the top 10, Birmingham, then Greensboro, 85.6 single men to 100 single women, and down the list to, at the bottom, Syracuse, I have no idea where that is, 82.6 single men to 100 single women. Then at the other end, in Miami, there's 138.3 single men per 100 single women. But there's a lot of homosexuals in Miami, so you can knock a few men off that. And then down, very thing, Fort Lauderdale, Spring Valley, Nevada, Colorado, Boise, Idaho, never heard of that. Anchorage, I'm not surprised in that because that is a sparsely populated area, and same with Arizona, a place called Mesa. And then you don't have to be married to have fun in Birmingham. If it's Birmingham in my country, some parts are nice, but there's some parts of Birmingham over here that are right dump. You could say it's a shithole. And the centre of Birmingham had a reputation of being a concrete, bland blob. But anyway, that's just my opinion of Birmingham. I don't particularly like it. And that's that. Now, fast forward to today with all these single women. I found this, International Cupid. Now, there's lots and lots and lots of these sorts of dating sites if you do a Google search of single American women. And you get the introduction, every day is a movie, and so many single American women are ready to have a laugh and make meaningful connections and are searching now. Whether you want someone who shares your interests or values the same things as you, is to start your love story, or they say in Hollywood, lights, camera, action. And then we have all the women who are single and looking for a guy. That's 35 on this page, and there's 100 pages. So that's 3,500 single American women on this site alone. She's got a Russian name or an Eastern European name, so she's a new one, so she gets a free pass. All the rest of these women are American women who born in America. But look at the age, 51, 45, 47, 41, 29, 38, 52, 55, 49, 54, 52, on and on and on. Post-war, postmenopausal probably, post-war, 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 approaching the wall, post-war, 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 etc. Now look at the ages that they're after. Male 50 to 65, 40 to 50, 29 to 44, 39 to 56, 49, she'd settle for a 99-year-old. Why would a 99-year-old want to go with her? She's from Duluth in Minnesota, and 32 to 58, 45 to 63, 46 to 68, 51 to 65. She's not bad for a 55-year-old. What she look like without all that makeup. And then 79-year-old she'd settle for. 62 she'd settle for. She wants a bit lower, 28 to 37, but that's a guy in his financial prime. Good Lord, look at her, Hayley. And she's only 30. What a train wreck. Duck lips, tattoos, coloured hair, 18 to 80. Why would an 80-year-old guy go with that? And that's not her natural colour hair. She's 41, 55, and she's 35. These are sort of the women I've seen on the late Kevin Samuels channel. Take this lady, Ty. She's 55 from Bloomington, Minnesota. She's after a 35 to 57-year-old man. No doubt a black man. If a black man is in that range group and he's got a good job, he's a high-flying black man, so what would he want with a 55-year-old woman? All these women, like these Star, she's 60 from Jonesboro, Arkansas. She wants a 55 to 66-year-old man. Looks a bit rough. How many of these women are single mothers? How many are divorced single mothers? How many of these women have never been in a serious relationship? What were they all doing when they were in their prime? Probably besides riding a cock carousel. Why would they want to get a man now? Look at the ages, as I said. They're all past it. They're all past the prime, but they want a guy that's in his prime financially to finance their retirement, their backup plan. Their sexual market value isn't as high as they all think they are. They all had the chance and they blew it. But if we go back to this article, more American women are single now than ever before, and it's costing them big money. So we can expect a lot more of this kind of thing in the coming years as we get to 2030. But as you know, there's a storm brewing, and it's not going to stop anytime soon, and it's going to be a lot worse for the American economy as more and more men don't bother getting married, don't bother dating, and there's more American women as single than ever before, as this article says. I think I'm on the half hour now, probably way beyond that, so I'll have to wrap it up. I'll try and find some more about American women for next week in the workforce, but for now, you know the routine, people: like, dislike, comment, subscribe, etc. It's completely up to you. So until next Monday, that's it for this one. Bye bye.